Babanks.
Welcome to the first edition of English Company. Today we are going to talk about capital punishment. But before an interview, let's start by a brief history lesson of the capital punishment. Billy Way in Cobble was put to death by lethal injection. After murdering his wife, parents and brother, he committed a triple murder and became the oldest inmate at 70 years of age. 2 hours earlier, the US Supreme Court had denied his appeal. Cobble was undescribed by a prosecutor as having a heart full of scorpions. To this day, Cobble is the oldest inmate to have suffered the capital punishment. As such an advanced age, it's legitimate to ask ourselves if it was really worth it. Capital punishment has always been at the center of political debate for centuries. Today, however, it seems like the debate has intensified and countries that has abolished capital punishment are now thinking of reviewing this. But what does the public think of this question? Let's find out. Hello, excuse me. What is your opinion about capital punishment?
Well, I think I'm in favor of capital punishment. I think it would really reduce recidivism. Because if criminals know they could die, I think the proportion would be less. And in France today, recidivism is about 60%. It's insane. And can you imagine how lower crime will be without this? And jails are so crowded now. There's like 115 prisoners for 100 seats. It's insane. Can you imagine? Obviously, jails are far from hotels, but it's inhuman to live with so many people. So death penalty can be the solution, I think. Not for all prisoners, of course, but when you committed multiple crimes and you kill people, you rape them, I think judicature can be easier. And it will make prison safer too, because I realize there is so much violence in jail. And if you take off the most dangerous criminals, it will decrease the crime rate and the thuggery. I guess capital punishment could be really the solution and could really fix so many troubles. Thank you.
Hello, excuse me.
Здравствуйте.
What is your opinion about capital punishment?
Capital punishment. In Mother Russia, capital punishment is institutionalized. I think the main thing is when you fuck up, you die. It's a bit simplistic, but the point is there's a dissuasive manner of doing things. You have to take into account the fact that if you do something bad, you will have equal punishment. I think it's important to know for all the people who think they can do crime and propagate violence everywhere, they know in Mother Russia you get punished. So I think if I had to synthesize everything I'm trying to say, I'm completely for capital punishment. It's instrumental to society.
Thank you. Hello, excuse me. Yeah? What is your opinion about capital punishment?
Well, capital punishment, I think the main argument here is a certain measure of justice for the grieving families. And justice for the victims as well, the families for sure, but also for future victims. It's important to know that these events will not go unpunished. So for me, capital punishment is important. It serves as a measure of justice and also as a warning. Imagine yourself in the shoes of those who have lost someone. If I was the family that has lost someone close, I would find a certain amount of peace knowing the murderer had been put to rest. It does not matter who it is, may it be a wife, a son, a cousin, it's all the same, justice must be carried out. I think it's something people can relate to that, and that's why in my mind the public opinion should be in favor. I realize talionic law can't always be the answer, but sometimes an eye for an eye seems to be the minimum punishment for people that did not think twice before adopting violent behaviors. And these days, executions are carried out in civilized ways. They are pain-free and relatively quick too. Of course, when it was about beheading or hanging, it is violent and not really acceptable. The electric chair in the USA is unacceptable too. But now they only do lethal injection, and it's absolutely painless and fast. And the waiting periods have drastically been reduced, so you don't have to wait a long time before you are killed. I think when you reach a certain level of criminality or violence, it can be the answer, I think.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Excuse me.
Yes?
What is your opinion about capital punishment?
I think if I had to choose, I'd say I'm for. I mean, if you really think about it, why should we spend state money on people that have pretty much forfeited their rights? If you've done something major, I am talking about major crime here, that does warrant capital punishment. But murders, rapes, and all those, I think it should have an adequate punishment. And on top of that, you have to realize we're spending a lot of our money, because it is state money that's financed by our taxes, in these prisons, in feeding these people, and taking care of these people. And why should we? I mean, they forfeited their right to do that. So, in my mind, I think capital punishment shouldn't be the answer to every crime, but an amount of them, that's for sure, because, as I said before, it is our money that they're spending, and why should we spend our money to improve their quality of life when, in fact, they've already forfeited that right? And that's what I think in any event. Thank you very much.